Stein, the new commissioner of DMV. Thank you for joining us today and to talk about the challenges we have here at DMV and some early steps we're taking to address those challenges. A key part of my approach is listening and responding to feedback from customers and employees. Before I get deeper into how our team is going to address these challenges, I want to bring up a customer with a sort of story that we are working to address. I'd like to introduce Jocelyn Wright, a mom from Durham who is going to talk about her experience joining her child to get a license.
Thank you. My name is Jocelyn Wright, and I'm a mother of a teen driver. My daughter became eligible for her teen driver level 2 license in February of last year. In preparation, I went to the DMV website and tried to get an appointment so she could take her driving test. I stalked the website every single day. I was able to finally get her an appointment probably 4 months after her 16th birthday. However, I had to drive an hour and a half in order to get an appointment. We drove there, she passed her driving test, she got her license. We prepared for her Teen Driver 3 license, which meant that she had to wait 6 months, do an additional 6 hours of driving, complete the form. We did that. And then it was my responsibility to then find her another appointment so she could go back to the DMV to turn in her form, take her new picture, and get her Teen Driver 3 license. However, there were no appointments available. She became eligible for her license December of last year. Because of that, I had to then go to social media to parenting groups to find out if they had some luck in walk-in appointments at any of the DMV locations. I was able to listen to some other parents and their concerns. They were all frustrated and going through the same things that I was. She became eligible in December. However, we were not able to get to another DMV location until Mother's Day weekend, that Friday of this year. So again, I drove an hour to wait in line because there weren't any appointments available at the Henderson location, DMV. Once we got there, we knew that the walk-ins were available to come in and be serviced at noon until closing. When we got there, there was a sign on the door that there was a lunch break from 11 to 1. So we stood in line, we waited, and then it started to rain. We stood outside in the rain and waited until we were serviced. We were the last people serviced that day, and we walked out at 4:58 with the worker that was there at the location. I almost did not make it into the building. I pleaded, I begged, and I let the DMV worker know that I drove an hour just to make sure that my daughter could get her license, and if she would please let us wait inside of the building instead of standing outside in the rain. We stood so long that my feet were swollen, and she accommodated me and allowed us to come in, and we were the last people that she serviced that day. And that was my experience with the DMV, and I am positive that this situation will improve, and by telling my story and those of others, it will help us to get to a resolution of better service with the DMV. Now if we'll have Secretary Hopkins.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And that story is something that's the reason we're here. You know, that's just one of many that we hear every day, and that's what we're trying to fix. Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Joey Hopkins, Secretary of North Carolina DOT. I'm here this morning to address the challenges facing our DMV and express my gratitude to those supporting our efforts to improve service for all North Carolinians, people like Jocelyn. The DMV is a critical part of everyone's life, whether it's getting a driver license, renewing your plates, or getting a real ID. But as you've already heard, we have significant challenges at DMV. We have long wait times, difficulties booking appointments online, and an overwhelmed workforce that have frustrated many of you. These issues stem from a combination of factors. We've had a surge in population growth, over 2.5 million in the last 20 years. We have strained staffing levels, and we have the need for modernized systems. We hear your concerns, and we're committed to addressing them head on. You've met Paul Stein. He's our new DMV commissioner, and I'm thrilled to have him lead this transformation. Paul brings a wealth of experience as a business owner, a former legislator, and a community leader. During his time at the General Assembly, he co-chaired the Transportation Appropriations Committee and served on the Joint Transportation Oversight Committee, giving him insight into complexities of our DOT systems. Paul knows how to get things done at the speed of business, and he's already hit the ground running to reduce wait times, enhance our website's usability, and empower our frontline staff to deliver exceptional service. I'm confident under his leadership that DMV will become more efficient and customer-focused. I want to also extend my thanks to Governor Stein for his unwavering support. His vision for a more responsive DMV is clear, and his proposed budget, which includes funding for 61 driver's license examiners and 24 additional staff for new and expanded driver's license offices, will help us meet the demands of our growing state. I also want to thank our state auditor and his staff for their oversight, which will help us identify areas for improvement and also ensure that we're accountable to the public. Their work strengthens our ability to serve efficiently. Finally, I'm grateful to the legislature for their partnership. Their support from funding to policy collaboration has been instrumental in helping us address staffing shortages and modernize our IT infrastructure. The road ahead, though, is not without challenges, but with Paul's leadership, the governor's support, the collaboration of our auditor and legislator, we're paving the way for a DMV that North Carolinians can rely on. Now I'd like to ask the Commissioner Stein to come back up here for some remarks. Thank you.
Thanks, Secretary. Jocelyn, thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate it very much. Unfortunately, it is way too often that I hear those stories of us not performing the way that we need to. And we have no shortage of opportunities for improvement, as I like to say, in the organization. And so I'd like to pivot, though, and talk about our approach at DMV moving forward. Our new approach is to create a positive, customer-focused culture. And to start that off, we're setting lofty goals. I want us to become a premier customer service organization, not just a great DMV, but a premier customer service organization. In order to do that, we need to empower our frontline staff. To get there, I needed to understand what was going on. So I've been going to several different offices across the state, from the Outer Banks all the way out to the mountains and here in Raleigh. And triage the lines. That's where you check the paperwork and find out if they have what they need, so they don't wait in line to then find out that they don't have what they need. I've been on road tests. A fine young man was very brave and let me ride along with him. And at 16, he did great, even driving a big old pickup truck. So I was very proud of him there. I've listened to customers in the front line, and it's informed the changes that I'm announcing today. I'm supported in this effort by what I call Team DMV, and it starts with our staff. We've got a great staff who want to do a great job, but they haven't been empowered to get there, whether it's the systems or the processes or the facilities themselves. And so it's my job and our support staff's job to make sure that they have those resources moving forward. It also starts with the governor, who has made it very clear that this is a priority for the state to fix this problem, and I appreciate that support. The Secretary has given me every bit of resource inside of DOT that I could possibly ask for, from HR to budgeting, and they have been extremely helpful and empowering to help me do my job. The legislature, as we said, they've put in on the House side some budget items that would definitely be helpful, and the Senate has signaled to us that they'd like to support us as well. And then the auditor, as you mentioned before, having bad data in the beginning of showing up to a job makes it very difficult to make good decisions, and the auditor's work has really helped us to understand where we are as far as wait times and different items inside that we can improve on. So let me talk about some of the early actions that we've taken. First, the customer focus. It starts with owning the experience from when our customers show up. It's not when they get to the front of the line. It's not when they get in front of one of our folks, one of our examiners. It's owning that customer experience from when they get out of the car and they get in line. And so that's why triage, making sure we check people's paperwork, has been a major push, a major initiative for us. We've asked for volunteers from inside of the organization to come back out in the field and help us with that. We've also gotten some interns that we're utilizing during the summer, which is our biggest time period, our biggest crunch. We have 3 pilots that we're focusing on right now. This office is one of them, and it's all about throughput. How can we get people in and out of our offices as quickly as possible? We've learned some great lessons already, and we've seen some indicating some ways to reduce our wait time, and we're going to be implementing those in the next couple of weeks. I've got 3 levers in which I can keep people moving through the office. One is our examiners and what we do in the office. One is our phone system when people call and make questions and have questions, and the other is our website. The more we can do in our website, the better. And so we've done some real enhancements already there. There's a new Real ID tool with that. If you're wondering if you need Real ID, go to our website. It's right there on the front of the page. It'll take you through a step-by-step process and then answer that question if you really need one. If you don't need one right now, please wait until we can clear out this backlog, and that'll help you determine. If you do need one, there's another set of questions, and it'll take you through it, and it'll tell you the right documents so you show up ready to go. We've also changed the website because people don't go to our website for information. They go to our website to perform jobs. They want to take care of a task. So what we've done there is we've reorganized it so it's very clear if you're trying to renew a license or get your Real ID, what path you go on, and that came out last week. And then we're communicating at the customer's level. If we're going to make changes and improvements, we need to communicate those so you know how to interact with DMV the best way that you can. So we now have social media. We didn't have that in the past. You can join us on Facebook and see what we've got going on. And then we've also gotten ncdmv.gov. That went live yesterday. That just makes us easier to locate and find. And then accessibility. We have 20 offices that will have Saturday hours starting tomorrow. That's 4 more than we've had in the past. And then we've also, to create more accessibility, we've been temporarily moving some central staff out that were already trained as examiners but had moved up. We've gotten some volunteers that we can put back in the field to help with the lines this summer. Early actions in regards to our front line. We've reorganized to empower our entire organization. We have a COO position that is open right now. They are there to make sure our operations run cleanly day to day. And then we have a deputy commissioner of modernization. Their job is the big change, the new systems, the new processes that we need as we move forward. And the governor has been very gracious in allowing us a gentleman who is serving in that capacity on an interim basis. We have new core principles to promote problem solving: service, efficiency, agility, and accountability. Service because we serve the people of North Carolina and the businesses of North Carolina first and foremost. Efficiency because we need to do everything quickly and correctly the first time. Agility, we need to be able to problem solve and meet the customer where they are. And then accountability is not to point fingers at our people, it's to empower them and say, you're accountable for your job, so go make it work the way that it needs to work. A great place to work equals a great place to visit. So that's another focus spot, and we need to keep great people like Tanika here there. So we have changed, we've created a career path for our examiners. We've also increased their pay so that we can recruit and keep the folks that we've got there. We've ordered new equipment. We've also ordered new uniforms. It's the first time in 5 years. We need people to have pride in their work and feel good about what they do in order to give a great experience to our consumers. But we definitely have a long way to go. These are just the first projects that we're announcing. They're not going to help the people that are standing in line today. They're not going to help the people that are looking for appointments today. But know that we are working to fix those problems as we move forward. We have great people in DMV. My job is to empower them. But I'm asking for your patience during the summer while we make our changes. This is our highest time. Know that we're working. Know that these folks have not been empowered the way that they need to, and that's my job to do that. So I have not gotten them there yet, so I apologize for that, and to all the folks that are standing in line and frustrated with the way that they receive our services. So the last thing is we're going to make a lot of changes, which means I won't get them all right. If we're going to move this fast, we're going to have to make some failures along the way. I would like your feedback. And so there's different ways to do it. You can go to our website, click help, and then you can enter comments there, and we're looking at those. You can tag NCDMV on social media, and we'll pick it up there. Or you can call 919-715-7000 and let us know how things are working or not working for you. Now, y'all are in for a treat because Ms. Tanika Williams, our senior examiner here, has built a culture, even with all these frustrating things. I walked in the office today and just said, hey, this is what's going on. I got my boss and my boss's boss here, and we're here to talk about our issues and how we're going to move forward. And a woman stopped me. She goes, I just got to tell you, the people here, even with the line and everything else, are great. And that's largely the responsibility of Ms. Tanika Williams. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Raleigh East office. I am Tanika Williams, the senior here. I have been with the DMV for 10 years, and I have been the senior examiner here at this office for 4 years. I opened this office from the ground up. As you saw as you came in today, I have a very busy office. It's obvious we need a little more people to meet the demand here. We only have 7 full employee positions for our 15-station office. On average, the customers are waiting a little more than 3.5 hours. We've been piloting a walk-in only service here with no appointments since May 5th. The line starts moving first thing in the morning at 7 as opposed to when it was before at 12 noon. Everyone shows up, first come, first in, first out without their appointments. Things are getting better, but we still have a long way to go. Wait times are starting to move down, and the morale is up. I feel the morale is starting from the head with the supervisor. I feel like my team likes it, and most importantly, the customers are able to see it. Before I get back to work, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for hearing us and also seeing us. It was nice to meet everyone today, the secretary, the governor, as well as re-meeting our commissioner, and thank you for all the progress that has gone on thus far to help us to get to where we are headed. Commissioner Stein, it was great to see you again today, and thank you for listening and for the support you have given us. It means more than you know. And now I have the honor of introducing our governor. I'm feeling pretty good today, y'all, because I feel special that I get to introduce the governor. It's not uncommon for a commissioner to stop by an office and see all the examiners and greet and meet everyone. Also to have the secretary here as well, or the governor come into your office. It's a first. I've got all 3 in one day on a great Friday, so I'm grateful. Josh Stein is honored to serve as North Carolina's 76th governor. Governor Stein is committed to creating economic opportunity for every North Carolinian, investing in public schools, developing our workforce, and keeping people safe. The governor is dedicated to providing effective and impactful services for the people of North Carolina, including making state services accessible and recruiting great public servants. Josh and his wife Anna are members of Temple Beth Orr in Raleigh. They are the proud parents of Sam, Adam, and Leah, who all attended North Carolina public schools just as they did. So without further ado, I would greatly be honored to introduce our governor.
You're welcome. That was great.
Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to be with you all. I want to thank Secretary Hopkins, Commissioner Tyne, Senior Examiner Williams for joining us today. It's been really inspiring to be with you, to see the interaction, the quality of interaction you have with the customers when they're waiting in line, and you take care of business, and I can see you're going to do excellent. Jocelyn, thank you for coming forward with your story. We wish it were a unique story, but really you are here speaking on behalf of thousands and thousands of North Carolinians and the immense frustrations that people legitimately have in dealing with the DMV. We pretty much all need the DMV in North Carolina, and what we want is for this organization to work for the people of North Carolina. We have heard today, and you all may know from your own experiences, that there's serious problems at the DMV. People shouldn't have to line up for hours at the DMV or take days off work or use their vacation time in order to get their driver's license or whatever other business they need. Our DMV employees need better working conditions and more support so they can more effectively provide high-quality service to all North Carolinians. At this location alone, as Senior Examiner Williams said, more than half of the spots of the workspaces are empty because we do not have enough examiners. Cuts in half the number of people who could be served from this place because we just simply do not have enough employees. As a state, we cannot have more stories like Jocelyn's. We have to get DMV working better for our people. We can do it now, and we must do it right. That's what I said to Commissioner Time when we hired him last month. And I shook him, and I'm like, are you going to take this job? Do you want this job? And he was unrelenting. He said, this is something that we can do better, and I am prepared to do my part to help us address it. So I thank him for hitting the ground running. As he said, he's been visiting DMV offices and talking with customers and employees alike all across the state. He's working on a plan that will help us to improve DMV. It's not that complicated. It's about process improvements at our locations so we can move customers through more efficiently. It's about a better website so that more people can take advantage of more services online so they don't have to come into the locations in the first place. And finally, it's about having a fully staffed, focused workforce. That's why I have requested that the General Assembly give us 85 more positions for the DMV across the state. This state is the third fastest growing state in the country. We've added more people since the last census than any other state other than Texas or Florida. Every one of those new adult residents need a new driver's license. So they are adding to the lines that exist from existing North Carolinians, but we have not kept pace with the number of workstations that are staffed at our DMVs across North Carolina. We're finding ways to get more people through our offices this summer, simplifying the website and raising pay for examiners, as Paul said. I want to thank you for taking on the task, Paul. Secretary Hopkins and I will do everything we can to support you and your great colleagues at the DMV as you do this important and urgent work. We're not alone in our commitment to support the DMV. I want to thank the North Carolina State House for including these 85 positions that we've requested in its budget, and we are hopeful that the Senate will concur. Additionally, I want to thank Auditor Dave Bullock. He shares our desire to make sure that the DMV works for the people of North Carolina. As he has said, the DMV is not political. It's about service. It's about service to the people of North Carolina. I look forward to working with him as we eliminate inefficiencies, modernize systems, and get this agency back on track. Hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians visit a DMV office each year. They deserve to be able to take care of their business efficiently and get back to whatever it is they want to do with their day. That's why we are committed to tackling this problem head on so that the DMV serves the people of North Carolina at the level that they deserve. At this point, be happy to take questions and you can address them to any of us.
Governor,